Squid Game Season 2 opens with Song Ji-hun, the Season 1 winner, determined to find and confront the individuals behind the deadly games. After spotting the salesman who recruited him at the airport, Ji-hun abandons his planned flight and begins his pursuit. Meanwhile, Detective Hwang Jun-ho, recovering from being shot by the frontman, revealed to be his brother, resumes his investigation into the games. Ji-hun experiences a vivid dream involving the frontman and a cryptic card with 3 symbols, foreshadowing future events. He hires a team to track down the salesman, who is identified by his Darkji card game, while Jun-ho independently searches for the island where the games take place. The salesman's actions are shown to involve a disturbing game of chance with homeless people, highlighting the manipulative nature of the game's organizers. The episode culminates in a tense confrontation between Ji-hun and the salesman, ending with a Russian roulette game where the salesman ultimately takes his own life. In a dramatic Russian roulette showdown, Ji-hun confronts the recruiter, who ultimately takes his own life, leaving Ji-hun victorious but facing new challenges. Officer Jun-ho, initially arresting Ji-hun for murder, forms an alliance with him to dismantle the Squid Game, despite concealing the frontman's identity. A new character, Kang No-yul, a former North Korean soldier, is introduced, joining the Squid Game not as a player but as a security guard in a pink jumpsuit, adding a new layer of suspense. Ji-hun, aided by Jun-ho and Woo-suk, devises a plan to infiltrate the Squid Game's island headquarters, utilizing a card found on the recruiter to locate the frontman at a Halloween party. Their attempt to confront the frontman is thwarted when Ji-hun is captured, but the episode ends with Ji-hun seemingly accepting an invitation back into the games, setting the stage for a more intense conflict and the implementation of Plan B. Song Ji-hun's plan to infiltrate the Squid Game again to confront the frontman is underway, with Jun-ho, Woo-suk, and their team tracking him to a remote island using a hidden tracking device. The episode focuses on the commencement of the Squid Games, beginning with the deadly red light, green light game, leaving 365 players after eliminating 91 participants. Ji-hun, leveraging his prior experience, guides the new players, initially met with skepticism but gaining their trust after a player is fatally shot for disobeying his instructions. The game highlights the desperation of the players, exemplified by characters like Myung-ji, a former YouTuber facing financial ruin, and Thanos, a rapper burdened by debt. A crucial plot point involves a tied vote on whether to continue the games, ultimately decided by player 001, revealed to be the frontman himself, ensuring the game's continuation and setting the stage for further conflict. The episode concludes with the continuation of the deadly games, leaving the remaining players facing an uncertain future and highlighting the manipulative nature of the frontman's actions. They cling tenaciously to the tracking device as they ascend the rugged landscapes, climbing steep cliffs and navigating perilous terrain in the hopes of discovering the truth at its destination. But when a fisherman finds the tracking device, their hopes are dashed. Everyone assumed that the frontman and his crew were prepared for a disaster when they discovered the tracking device. Consequently, they only removed the threat. Episode 4 of Squid Game Season 2 sees Ji-hun taking a leadership role, revealing game details and strategizing with fellow players to improve their chances of survival. The main challenge in this episode is a 6-legged pentathlon, a team-based competition involving several traditional Korean games, which highlights the importance of teamwork and strategy. The episode reveals a surprising twist. Player 001, the frontman, is actively participating in the games, seemingly to test Ji-hun's abilities and potentially manipulate the outcome. Despite Ji-hun's attempts to share strategies and improve the players' odds, the brutal nature of the games remains, leading to the elimination of multiple teams after a tense and challenging competition. The intense competition and the cliffhanger ending strongly suggest that the storyline will extend beyond the initial 7 episodes, potentially setting the stage for a gripping Season 3. The episode underscores the escalating tension and the increasingly sinister nature of the games, showcasing the high stakes and the life-or-death consequences faced by the players. Episode 5 of Squid Game Season 2 follows the continuing minigames, with Hyunju's team unexpectedly succeeding in the spinning top game despite initial setbacks, showcasing individual player motivations and strategies. The episode details the players' return to the dorms, revealing Hyunju's pre-op status and financial needs, while highlighting Thanos' efforts to maintain control and Noyul's violent encounter with soldiers. Following a vote to continue or leave, many players, including Minute-Ho, Jung Bae, Yong-sik, and Hyunju, choose to proceed with the games, leading to distrust and division among the participants and a subsequent The Mingle game. While the Mingle game introduces a new challenge, the episode is criticized for its slower pace and similarities to the first season's plotlines, including recurring character archetypes and themes, despite the introduction of new game mechanics. Now tell me about the third game. The name of it is Mingle. The center platform spins, and players must enter rooms in groups of the same size as the number they hear. Since the door will shut in 30 seconds, there isn't much of a plan, to be honest. The other de facto captains, including Ji-hun and In-ho, urge their teams to be calm and composed as the match starts. Squid Game Season 2 ends with a violent brawl killing several players. Despite initially gaining an advantage, Ji-hun's plan to use the ensuing chaos to escape backfires. The tournament remains unresolved. In the second season finale of Squid Game, Ji-hun has a straightforward, albeit naive, idea. As soon as the midnight fighting begins, he orders his companions to take cover beneath their bunks. Both the players intent on reducing their team's numbers and the element of surprise will be served by this. When the violence escalates beyond control, Ji-hun says the masked men will come to stop it. Indeed, the VIPs require a means of entertainment, and the continuation of the games is contingent upon their survival. Pretending to be dead, Ji-hun and his comrades evade the arrival of the masked men. Whenever the masked men approach near enough to inspect them, Ji-hun and his companions swiftly strike. In order to prepare for an insurrection, they defeat the masked guys and take their weapons. Even though not all of the main characters from Squid Game Season 2 are willing to battle, Ji-hun rallies a group of students and sends them racing for the control center. Unfortunately, the masked men quickly catch up with them, and most of Ji-hun's team dies while on the operation. Also, before the masked men and frontman face them, Ji-hun and Jung Bae run out of ammunition, thus they never make it to the control room. During the rebellion, the second character returns to his real identity, but he keeps it a secret from Ji-hun. After tricking Ji-hun into thinking he's among the dead with his walkie-talkie, the frontman puts on his mask and confronts him. Season 2 concludes with Ji-hun sobbing over his friend's dying body as he tragically kills Jung Bae for their stunt. The fact that the frontman is involved is the most significant reason why Ji-hun's plan fails. The people in charge of the games are obviously ready for what's to come. Because of this, the masked men have been summoned to a special game. The bosses know that the VIPs would find this entertaining, so they place them in harm's way. The fact that they planned this deadly showdown shows that the lives of the participants are more important to the masked men than their own. Still, the masked men follow orders without question. There are far more masked men than players on the squad Ji-hun assembles, so they are likewise unprepared. They are severely outnumbered and lack the ammunition to mount an effective rebellion, despite Hyun military Jew's training and expertise. Despite Daeho's best efforts, he is unable to return the ammunition he has retrieved from the dormitories to the other players. During the showdown in the conclusion, it becomes quite clear that he is not a real Marine, or at least someone who has seen battle action before. Without Daeho's timidity, Ji-hun's scheme would probably still fail. Another important character is the frontman, who betrays Ji-hun by telling Jung Bae and Ji-hun that the cavalry is on its way. He betrays them and murders their backup, demonstrating that Ji-hun's mission was always doomed to fail. The participants' greater chances of surviving the event may have been achieved through voting, as seen in the second season of Squid Game. But that's probably the point the frontman is trying to make, which just makes the Season 2 conclusion that much more heartbreaking.